what? Do chores? And you like doing that? Oh my gosh. Hello guys, it's PandaFAM and thank you for watching this video, and I'm so sorry this is a last minute video. I was going to post something today about something else, but then since it was a good day outside, we were doing chores around the house, and yeah, the day went by and I didn't make a video. So, but I'm going to remember to record a video. And so anyway, what I did today I wanted to show you guys about, which was our Paris had a visiting brother who did a talk about a Lenten mission. Anyway, I wrote down the notes in my book, and maybe I could share some of it with you, and so it might help you with your Lenten journey as well. And so the first part are when we got there, which is when my brother went there because her family was still making dinner. And so the first part, which is I wrote down the third person, and so about that, which is how sometimes we see things through third person, or how we see like a TV show and we think about it in the third person, that we don't think in their like point of view. We just think how we live through others' point of view and characters in TV, and we must become more like first person. We must become more like first person and know things from our perspective. And also about being the disciple is don't be wallflowers. And the brother gave an example about his first prom, and he didn't have a date. And so he saw, when he got there, he saw some of these girls were staying by the wall, and they didn't have any dates either. And so he thought it was his obligation to go and dance with all of them. And how it's kind of like when we invite other people to share in the gospel with us, we can't just go alone, you know. It's like, hey, I'm going to go see Jesus. When he comes, like, yeah, sure. So, you know, it's like that. And how disciple is, and how scripture is usually read as addressing the past and not ourselves. And how the Bible is actually interactive, it's talking to us. And there was an example that he gave that when he was at the seminary, he had there was another brother that he didn't get along with very well. And so they didn't talk to each other for a while until they went to Mass, and one of the gospel readings was in John or something, and it was like, forgive others and you will be forgiven. If you don't forgive, then you won't be forgiven. And they were both kind of thinking of the other person, but they weren't thinking of themselves. And how sometimes when we listen to the gospel readings, we think about how it affects others. We always think of someone else, we don't think of ourselves, and how that could relate to us. And how Jesus is the lordship of love, or Jesus' lordship is one of love, and he goes through what we go through, and how he's sharing our experiences, and it's a companionship of love. It's probably I think what someone described a disciple, what being a disciple is a companionship of love. And he was talking about, this was his grandma, and he was saying, how do you pray? And she says, first, I tell Jesus my life story, he tells his life story, and we share life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. So I thought that was nice. And how Jesus wants to be our friend. The Lord of heaven and earth is our servant, and how Mass is like a restaurant, guys. And so the priest is a servant, and we are the customers. First, when you go to a restaurant, what you do, they welcome you and put you on a table. That's what a priest does as well. Once you come in, he welcomes you with his spirit. And how we give you the menu, same thing. We get our readings, and how it's kind of like a spiritual menu. And the special of the day is like the homily. And how the food is like the Eucharist. And how we leave a tip is we give donations to the church as well. And then when we're done, he thanks you for coming. And sometimes we miss the humanity in Mass. So, the brother's mom is Southern Baptist, and he invited her to come to one of his masses that he was giving. And afterwards they went out to breakfast, and he said, "Well, what'd you think?" And she said, "2 things. You remembered to wash your hands before you ate." So that was something as well, how since we forget that the Mass is not only holy and divine, it also has human aspects to it as well. And sometimes we forget. And how love is as strong as death. How there's authority of love, find, experience love. And how this example was how he got invited to hang out with like the popular kids and was invited to this party, and his dad said he couldn't go. And of course, as a teenager, he was really upset about this and got really mad at him, and he said, like, "What right do you have though not maybe go to this party?" And the dad, he said, like, "The right is because I love you," or something like that. And so, sorry. And anyway, that morning they found out that the guys who went to the party eventually went to this rich person's house who was in a different state of town or away from their house, and they tried to break in, but eventually got arrested and went to jail. And so he knows that if he went, he probably would have gotten to the peer pressure of wanting to go as well. And so he was saying how like his father kept him from going because he loved him, and that how we don't usually see God's plan and what we want as well, but how he does it because he loves us. And how disciple is about friendship, spend time with someone you love, and sharing work. And how he explains that he loved to go visit his grandpa's farm and loves to spend time with him, and one of the things he loved to do was to do chores. And we're probably thinking, what? Do chores? And you like doing that? Oh my gosh. But the thing is, when you do chores with someone that you love, it's more fun that way. And spending time with someone you love, they don't really care about what you're doing as long as you're spending time with them. It's like going to a friend's house and cleaning their room. You'd rather do that than clean your own room, wouldn't you? So that's kind of an example that I just gave. But yeah, in that sense, it's kind of like that. And how he does some missing work, and it's like a love you can never imagine. How when you listen, you learn and you love. Or when you listen, you learn. And anyway, this story was, he was visiting someone who's in the hospital, and she was explaining, like, oh, this, like, chemotherapy, like, is really painful, and, like, it makes me sick every time I do it. And he was probably thinking, well, that's probably an exaggeration, don't worry about it. And so, when she was going in to do it, he was visiting her as well, and he put his hand over her hand, and I guess the nurse was going really, not paying attention to what she was doing. She was trying to get this over as quickly as possible. And so, she thought that his hand was her hand, and so he got the needle in for the chemo and got the hand wrapped up, and I was like, oh my goodness, where is this going? And so he felt her pain, and how, a sense, how God feels our pain as well. And even though sometimes we not know what someone's going through, we just have to listen to them, and we learn about stuff. Because if someone says, like, oh, I broke my toe, and we never broke our toe before, we're like, oh, it's probably no big deal. Until we break our toe, we're like, I can't walk ever again. Just that kind of thing. So that was basically what I got, and it was really good. It was a really good homily, it was a really good talk that we went to go to, and yeah, it was really nice. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about this. Sorry I'm not like the best talker or anything. and I talk really fast. I'm so sorry. It's just a habit of mine. I need to work on talking slower and be more. I need to pronounce my words a bit better, or else I'll just talk like this and go like on forever. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for vLent Day 12. And I'll try and post earlier in the day. I know I always seem to post at night, but that's just the way things are right now. But I'll try and do better, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!